More news this morning. You can now hear what Minneapolis police officers said in the moments before and after they fired their weapons, killing Thurman Blevins.
KARE 11 got a hold of dispatch audio of the call that led to the shooting in North Minneapolis. Kaya joins us now. Kaya, you have a recording of that call, and I'm kind of interested, now that criminal justice experts have had a chance to listen to it, what they're saying could happen next.
Yeah, they're weighing in, and as we already know, the shooting happened Saturday, but this morning, still a lot of unanswered questions, even with what you're about to hear.
Report of an intoxicated male walking around shooting a gun into the air. 46th and Lindale Avenue North, a silver 9mm.
KARE 11 News obtained police radio audio from Broadcastify. We've condensed that audio over a period from 5:27 p.m. to 5:37 p.m., according to Broadcastify's log.
We're coming into the area of that Pergon. Is there a description of this male?
It looks like a light-complected black male. He's wearing a white or gray tank top. Does have a black backpack on him.
10 minutes pass from the time officers are sent to the neighborhood and when they call back asking for help.
We're starting to get a lot of people coming out of the area, so any squads that can come up here, we need everybody.
The BCA says the officers chased and eventually shot Thurman Blevins to death. But critical questions remain.
The question will now be, what was the context of those shots being fired?
James Densley is an associate professor of criminal justice. Surveillance video shows a quick glimpse of the chase before the shooting. Densley says it's important to know if Blevins was still running when officers fired or if he made a threatening move toward them.
Body camera footage will be important to determine whether or not there was a weapon present on the scene and whether or not the officers' actions were deemed reasonable by comparison to other officers.
Minneapolis police and the BCA legally can release the body cam footage now before the investigation's complete if they want to, and a lot of people are pushing for that. We're also still waiting to learn more about the officers, their years of experience on the force. The BCA says once those officers provide interviews, it will release their names. Chris?
In other headlines this morning, a final goodbye for Antoine Rose Jr. Family, friends, and neighbors held a funeral for the Pittsburgh 17-year-old who was shot and killed by a police officer. The teen was unarmed when he ran away from a traffic stop and was shot in the back. An investigation is still underway. A Minnetonka man almost lost his eye after he was hit by a drunk driver. We talked with Kyle Hughes after he received more than 30 stitches in his face. A driver in an SUV hit Hughes' car on Highway 7 in St. Bonnie.
After the glass shattered, I saw nothing but red and black through this eye, and then when I looked down and tilted my head, that's when I just saw blood pouring into my hand.
The driver of that SUV could be charged later today. And new life for that old Ford site in St. Paul. Minneapolis-based Ryan Companies just got dubbed the developer for the site, and they do plan to build.
Chris, thank you. It's 6:05. Time now for our digital dive. If you grew up watching Little House on the Prairie, maybe you even read some of the novels, listen up. A recent decision by Division of the American Library Association is causing quite a stir. The group removed Laura Ingalls Wilder's name from a major children's book award. Wilder, she's known for writing Little House on the Prairie novels based on her own life. The group says the change is over concerns about how she portrayed Native Americans and African Americans. So a lot of folks upset about this story and have been commenting on our KARE 11 Facebook page. One person wrote, "This is horrible. She wrote what she knew. One way for history to repeat itself is trying to erase it." However, the group, they actually gave a response to all of the criticism because there's a lot of it. The statement reads, "This isn't a call for readers to change their feelings about Wilder's books, and it's also not censoring or limiting access to her books. Instead, it's aligning the award with the group's values of being inclusive and respectful." So still a lot of people chiming in. Therese says there is a difference between not honoring someone and censoring someone. The ALA is just choosing to not honor someone anymore. Her books aren't going anywhere. They do remain on library shelves. She goes on to say no one is erasing any history. her books are not being censored or edited. They are just not naming an award after her anymore. So again, this story is posted on our KARE 11 Facebook page. Let us know what you think, but it is an interesting decision by the American Library Association.
Yeah, it's one of those things, as society evolves, things that happened in the past, you know, are deemed insensitive because that's how people looked upon things back then.
And then we see change.
We see change, yeah, but the good thing is there is no censorship because you can still read those books if you choose. Right now, let's go to Sven for the One Thing weather.
Yeah, we've got that rain falling across a good chunk of the metro this morning. Pretty steady rain with a couple embedded downpours here. Some of those yellow specks you can see, especially in the East Metro, but starting to see a couple in the West Metro too. South of that, though, things are drying out, and we'll get just kind of a cloudy break the rest of the day with maybe a few more showers again this afternoon. Temperatures cooler in the 70s this afternoon.
Thank you. In other news this morning, the group behind the Oscar Awards is getting a little more diverse after a backlash about the fact that 94% of the Academy members are white and they are mostly male. Now, in the latest round of membership invites, a big number of minorities and women. Now, some of the folks you've probably heard of, Tiffany Haddish, Jada Pinkett Smith, and Black Panther actor Daniel Kaluuya. This is a big deal because more diverse voices could change the types of movies that get nominated for awards. A reporter at the World Cup put an unruly fan in his place after he walked up to her and tried to kiss her on camera. Take a listen.
Don't do this, man.
Yeah, Julia Gomirez not having it, especially because this is the second time it's happened to her during the World Cup. I mean, seriously, who thinks that's okay? She just lays into him, letting him know that it's not even close to appropriate. This man sheepishly apologized. And get ready for more spicy. Sean Spicer, President Trump's former press secretary, you see him right there. He is shooting a pilot for his own talk show. It's being described as a relaxed talk show with public figures joining him in a light conversation in a pub or a cafe. Now, I think the first guest should be Melissa McCarthy. You'll see her right there. Remember her on her little podium as Sean Spicer? I think the ratings would be big. And Spicer has shown he has kind of a sense of humor about that Melissa McCarthy impersonation.
Yeah, he sure did. I don't want to see him relax in a pub or cafe. I want to see him mixing it up. I mean, Jerry Springer just retired. Get him in that kind of show.
Oh, Spicy is the new Springer.
Yeah,
I like
people chatting. Spicy.
I don't need
Spicy.
him sitting in a pub. Come on, mix it up, Spicy. Let's go. After the break, flooding has caused some problems for late morning commuters in the South Metro.
And coming up a little bit later, this woman caused some commotion in Rochester. Listen to this.
I've been there 10 times.
I'm going to tell you what sparked this, and we're going to hear from some of the passengers on board. That story is coming up.